Hello bookworms! Today we're going to be doing another news and stuff video. So, fun fact, this morning I woke up and I was like, I cannot take having long hair anymore. It's driving me out of my mind. And there weren't any weekend appointments until like January. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cut my hair on my own. So that's what I did. And Andrew helped even out the back. So hopefully this looks okay. But I like it. I think it came out good. But anyway, let's get into the news. So first up, we have book boxes. So these are spoilers for upcoming monthly picks for book boxes. First up, we have Owl Crate for their November YA box. They are going to be doing What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. And you might remember from the previous video that Fairy Loot is also doing the same YA book for December. Then we have Owl Crate's November adult book. And for that one, they are doing The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. Then for Goldsboro, they're going to be doing Feybound by Sarah L. Arafi as their December pick, and they actually show you like what the book is going to look like, which is pretty nice. Then for the Fairy Loot December adult book, it's going to be the same one. And again, if you'll remember, I had actually predicted that this would be a Fairy Loot pick. I thought it was going to be in January because that's when it comes out, but they're doing it a little early. I think it might come out earlier in the UK, so that's fun. Then for Illumicrate's December book, they are doing The Principle of Moments by Esme Jakimi Pearson. This is one that I'm going to be skipping. I tend never to really get any of the sci-fi books whenever they're picks, so that's my reason for skipping on this one. Then for the Bookish Box November YA box, they're going to be doing Godly Heathens by H.E. Edgman. And for the Bookish Box November adult box, they're going to be doing The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. And this one I'm pretty excited for. I feel like I've seen this cover like everywhere and so many people seem to love it. So taking a chance and really hoping that I'll enjoy this one too. Then I'm going to include this in this section, but I just wanted to talk about the Bookish Box for a moment. So they're going to be changing up their subscriptions in 2024. They're going to be doing away with their YA and adult book boxes completely, and they're introducing 2 new subscriptions that will take their place. So first we have the Bookish Box. This box will feature primarily new adult titles with the occasional upper YA title. It will heavily feature romantasy reads with a kick of spice. And then the adult box will be replaced by the Darkly box. This will be an adult romance forward box that will focus on all different subgenres of romance. So there will be dark romance, romantasy, contemporary romance, romantic suspense, and more, and these will have major levels of spice. Anyone who is currently subscribed to the YA box will automatically be subscribed to the Bookish Box, and anyone who is currently subscribed to the adult box will automatically be subscribed to the Darkly box. And then in the same vein, Fox and Wit has also announced that they're going to be doing away with their YA box in 2024. They did say in their post that they will still be doing some YA special editions that are separate from their monthly box, but I think it's interesting that at least 2 companies now are moving away from YA boxes. It does seem like the majority of us who kind of have grown with these companies have aged out of young adult in a sense. Not that there aren't any young adult books that still appeal, but definitely they're fewer and further between. Then moving on to special editions. So first of all, we got an update on the Untitled 2023 Red Tower book, and Rebecca Yarros revealed that it is a new special edition of Fourth Wing. So it has an updated cover. It's a red cover, which is really pretty. It has black sprayed pages. I honestly think that they could have gone a little bit more all out with the pages. It would have been cool if they kind of reprinted the first print run of pages with like the dragons on them. The main draw for this one for me personally is that there are going to be 2 new short stories in it, and they're told from Xaden's point of view. It's also worth noting that if you order it in the US, you'll get it with black sprayed pages, but if you order it from like UK Amazon, they will not have sprayed pages. They'll just be your regular standard pages, and it's still coming out November 7th. Then another update to the last video, Cassandra Clare released the first cover for her upcoming Kickstarter. So we got the cover for Secrets of Blackthorn Hall. This is a cute cover. It's honestly not what I was expecting. I think I'm gonna need to see like the materials that it's going to be made out of. If this is like a leather bound or like a faux leather bound in the way that Brandon Sanderson's Kickstarter was, I think that it could be like really beautiful, but if it's just like a matted cover, not my favorite. But the Kickstarter should actually launch later this week. She said 10 days from posting this, so any day now. Next, Illumicrate announced their edition of the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, and they are gorgeous. I really love these. I'm not a super fan of the dust jacket covers, but the naked hardcovers are like beyond. I love them. I have a big decision to make here because I bought the bookish box versions, but I'm really, really loving these vibrant hardcovers. Then Golan's announced special editions of The Name of the Wind and Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. I have never been more devastated to immediately click on a website only to find out that they do not ship to the US. So these are for any UK fans out there. They're really stunning. I absolutely love the sprayed pages on both of these, but unfortunately we can't get them here in the US. Next, Illumicrate is going to be doing special editions of the Bride of the Shadow King series by Sylvia Mercedes. I've actually been predicting for a while now that they would do special editions of this series because their UK publisher is Daphne Press, which is the imprint that Illumicrate has created. So I feel like it only makes sense for them to do a special edition of these. They're really pretty, and Alexa and I have added them to our list of books to read before they go on sale as special editions. Then the Bookish Box revealed their editions of the Poison series by Maria V. Snyder. I read the first book in this series and really enjoyed it. It's like pretty similar to Throne of Glass, although it did come before Throne of Glass, but I never continued on, so I'm on the fence about these, but they are really pretty. Also, I apologize if you hear any loud noises. There is like major construction going on outside of my house, so I can't really control that, but I couldn't possibly wait any longer to do another news video. Next up, Bramble revealed the special first edition printing of The Coven by Harper L. Woods. These have really beautiful roses on the sprayed pages, and it's going to be limited for the first print run. And then in the same vein, they also revealed their limited first print run of the second book in the series, which is The Cursed, and this one has a really beautiful purple color scheme, and these are both going to be released next year. Then we got the Goldsboro edition of Empire of the Damned by Jay Kristoff. This one is very purpley, very pretty. We also got a peek at the Forbidden Planet exclusive edition of Empire of the Damned. This one they didn't do any sprayed pages on, which I thought was interesting. It is a nice cover, but otherwise I don't really see anything too special about it. Then Waterstones is doing a special edition of The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is going to be the final book in the Inheritance games, and it's pretty much just the original cover, but it has blue sprayed pages. Barnes & Noble is also doing a special edition of this book, and for theirs, they're actually doing a white cover, which is interesting because it does not go with the rest of the series very well, but it is very pretty. Barnes & Noble is also doing a special edition of What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. This one is really pretty. It has a purple cover. The typical cover is black, but I think this is a really nice shade of plum. Then Waterstones is doing a special edition of The Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. This one's also really pretty. It keeps the original cover, but it has very pretty like smoke on the sprayed pages. Then the Arcane Society shared their special edition of Blood Heir by Alona Andrews, and this book is so pretty. I've been wanting to read Alona Andrews for so long, and I'm like, maybe I should bump that up my TBR and potentially buy a copy of this book. Then Indigo is doing a special edition of This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. It'll include deluxe bronze foil on the cover. It will have a letter from Carly, and it'll also include a map of Prince Edward Island. Then we got the second colored Legends and Lattes end paper reveal, and it is just stunning. This is going to be in the Wraithmarked Kickstarter edition. There are also special paperback editions being released for 2 of Ruby Dixon's books. The first one is The King's Spinster Bride. I really like this one. And the other one is The Half-Orc's Maiden Bride. Then Illumicrate revealed their edition of All This Twisted Glory by Tahara Mafi. This one will complete the trilogy. I believe the first book was their January pick like a couple of years ago in their main box, and they have since released the sequel, and now this is the final book. Golan's also revealed a special edition of Dune by Frank Herbert. This one actually has the same cover as the Waterstone special edition that was done a couple of years ago, except that it has gold gilded pages instead of like the design on there. So it's a good opportunity to pick this one up if you missed out on the Waterstones one and had wanted it, if you're in the UK, because once again, they don't ship to the US. The Broken Binding revealed their edition of Crucible of Chaos by Sebastian de Castiel. This is really beautiful. I love the little mask, and I really like the berry color scheme that we have going on here. Then Illumicrate revealed their sequel edition to Dark Star Burning Ash Turns White by Amelie Wenzo. This is book 2 in the Song of the Last Kingdom series. Then Bookish Box revealed their special editions of Crier's War by Nina Ravella. So they're going to be doing Crier's War and Iron Heart. Then Orbit announced that they're going to be releasing a new special 10th anniversary hardcover edition of Ancillary Justice by Anne Leckie. This was a really popular sci-fi book. It actually won Hugo Nebula and Arthur C. Clarke Awards. Then the Bookish Box announced that they're going to be doing special editions of the Atlas series by Olivia Blake. However, they haven't revealed what those editions will look like just yet. The Arcane Society revealed that they're going to be doing books 1 through 3 in Harper L. Woods' Of Flesh and Bone series. And again, no covers, but just the reveal of it coming. And in the same vein, Owlcrate announced that they're going to be doing a special edition of Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I'm sure this will go along with their edition of Divine Rivals. The Bookish Box announced that they're going to be doing special editions of the Stars and Shadows series by Holly Renee. This will be a set, and it will include A Kingdom of Blood and Betrayal and A Kingdom of Venom and Vows. Then the Bookish Box also announced that they're going to be continuing along with their editions of Olivia Wildenstein's books. So the next set will include House of Pounding Hearts and House of Striking Oaths. Moving on to cover reveals, and we have a lot of cover reveals this video and a lot of like really, really good ones that I personally I'm so excited for. So first up, we have Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. This is going to be a sequel to The House in the Cerulean Sea, and I love that book so much, so I'm quite excited about this one, and I'm also really hoping that Illumicrate will do an edition to match their edition of Cerulean Sea. This one's coming in fall of 2024. Then it feels kind of silly to include this one again, but we have The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I did just show the special editions for it, and this cover is pretty similar, but here it is again. I believe this one's coming in August of 2024. Then we got the UK cover reveal for Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. This one is really pretty, but honestly, I'm just so excited to see what Fairy Loot's going to do for their edition because theirs is the best in my opinion. The UK edition is publishing on January 4th, so just a little bit later than the US. In the US, we're getting Ruthless Vows on December 26th. Then we got the cover for A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. This is a dark retelling of Grimm's Goose Girl. It's rife with secrets, murder, and forbidden magic, and this one's coming out on August 20th. Then, literally seconds before I sat down to film this video, we got the cover reveal for The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. This is their 2024 romance book. I really like this cover. It's a bit of a different direction than we've seen for romance. We pretty much just get those like very cute illustrated covers that I really love, but I think that this is very fun and it's kind of taking a chance. It's kind of reminiscent of The Unhoneymooners, and this one has Opposites Attract, Married to a Stranger, and it takes place on a tropical island, and this one's coming out on May 14th. Then Sarah Adams announced that her It Happened in Nashville and It Happened in Charleston series is going to be traditionally published, so we got the cover reveal for the first 2 books. The covers still reflect the originals, and I personally really like these 2 that we've gotten so far. They're really, really pretty. These are coming out in summer of 2024. Then we got the cover for Ghostsmith by Nikki Palpretto. This cover is so awesome, and this is a duology, so this is the final book in the series, and it's coming out on August 13th. Then we got the cover for Wisteria by Adeline Grace. So this is so funny, but I once again prefer the regular US cover to the Barnes & Noble special edition. The regular US one is the one with the blue flowers, and the one with the white flowers is the Barnes & Noble one. I can't wait until they reveal what the hardback casing will look like below the dust jacket, but I already pre-ordered a copy of the regular US version, and this is coming out on August 20th. Then we got a cover for The Last Song of Penelope by Claire North. This is the 3rd and final book in this trilogy, and I really like the green coloring, and if you watched my book haul, you'll know that I'll be ordering from Blackwell's so I can avoid what happened last time. It seems like the US hardcovers do not have gold foiling, but the UK ones do, so that is the one that I will be springing for. This one's coming out in June of 2024. Then we got the cover for Same Time Next Year by Tessa Bailey. This was actually supposed to be a short novella that Tessa wrote to be released on Amazon, but she ended up writing 4 times the number of words that they had agreed on, and when Amazon asked her to shorten it, she said that she just couldn't because she loved it so much, so they were like, okay, fine, they let her keep it at the length that it is. This is a New Year's Eve themed romance, and it'll be $1.99. Then we got a cover for The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. This one follows a rom-com screenwriter who ends up getting the opportunity to rewrite a script for a super famous screenwriter, and then it turns out that he doesn't even like rom-coms or romance at all, and obviously the 2 of them are gonna fall in love. This one's coming out on June 11th, and I really like that the character on the cover kind of looks a little bit like Julia Roberts, who was like the rom-com queen in her day. Then we got the cover for The Seventh Veil of Salome by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This one follows a 1950s Hollywood actress and the mythological heroine who inspired her greatest role. This one's coming out on July 16th. Then we got the cover for The Blonde Dies First by Joelle Wellington. I really love this cover. This is the second book from the author of Their Vicious Games. The author describes this book as a love letter to Brooklyn, horror films, and self-referential media everywhere, which also sounds excellent. And this one's coming out on July 30th. Then we got the cover for If Something Happens to Me by Alex Finlay. This one's coming May 28th of 2024, and it sounds pretty interesting. We're following a guy whose girlfriend kind of just like disappeared in his car. And because the car and her body were never found, there's really not enough evidence to implicate him, but there's always like kind of been suspicion about it. And then he goes off to college to study abroad, and her body and the car resurfaces in a lake in his hometown, and there's like 2 other guys in the car, and there's like a cryptic note or something that says, you know, if something happens to me, ... So I'm pretty intrigued. Then we got a new cover for Canadian Boyfriend by Jenny Holiday. There was a cover that was previously released for this one, but it seems like Forever Romance has updated it for whatever reason. I do like this one a lot. I think it's very, very cute, and this is a hockey romance. This one's coming out on January 30th. Then we got the cover for Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. This is the author of Same Time Next Summer, and it follows a professional organizer whose life is a mess. And this one comes out on June 4th. Then we got the cover for To Kill a Shadow by Catherine Quinn. This one is going to have purple sprayed edges for its first print run, as you can see here. And it is a YA romantasy that's coming out on December 5th from Entangled Teen, so very, very soon. Then we got a cover for The X-Vows by Jessica Joyce. Her romance novel that came out this year seemed to be very popular, so I'm sure that a lot of people are going to be looking forward to her next book. It's Second Chance, Friends to Lovers to Estranged to Lovers. And it's coming out July 16th. Then another little news update. We got a cover for Past, Present, Future by Rachel Lynn Solomon. We got the title reveal in my last video, but now we can see what the cover looks like. This is a dual POV sequel to Today, Tonight, Tomorrow, and we are following both characters in their first year of college. And this one's coming out on June 4th. Then we got a cover for Beneath These Cursed Stars by Lexi Ryan. This book is going to take place in the same world as These Hollow Vows, and we are following Princess Jaslyn and Kendrick, and this one's coming out on July 9th. Then we got a cover for Wild About You by Caitlin Hill. This is the author's third YA/NA romance, and it is a standalone spin-off of Love from Scratch, and this one's coming out on May 21st. Then we got a cover for Mistress of Lies by K.M. Enright. This is a new fantasy book from Orbit that's about blood magic, and it's coming in August of 2024. Then we got a cover for The Shadow Key by Susan Stokes Chapman. This is the author's second novel, and it is a gothic Welsh novel. This one will be coming out on April 11th. Then we got the cover for Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle. I am obsessed with this cover. It's giving like 80s Florida vibes, and I just love it. It's so fun. This one follows a jaded screenwriter that is haunted by his past, and it's coming in July of 2024. Next is the cover for Love, Lies, and Cherry Pie by Jackie Lau. I really love this cover. This one has like Pushing Daisies vibes, and it's coming May 7th. And then also from Jackie Lau, she's going to be releasing a Kickstarter in mid-November. That's going to be 2 novellas. So we got the cover for the first one, which is called The Sitcom Star, and it's so cute. Next is the cover for Just One Taste by Lizzie Dent. This one's coming out in summer of 2024, and have any of you read Lizzie Dent's books yet? I feel like her covers are always so cute, but I just haven't gotten around to actually reading one of her books. Then we have the cover for These Deathless Shores by P.H. Lowe, and this is a Peter Pan fantasy. It focuses on family, freedom, and choice, and it is a gender-bent origin story told from the perspective of Captain Hook, and it's coming on July 9th. Then we got the next What If cover. So this one's going to be written by Shannon McGuire, and it's going to explore what if Wanda Maximoff and Peter Parker were siblings. And this one is also coming in July of 2024. Next is the cover for The Trials of Empire by Richard Swan. This is the final book in this trilogy, and it's coming in February of 2024. Next is the cover for My Salty Mary by Cynthia Han, Jody Meadows, and Brody Ashton. This one is following Mary Read, and it's coming out in August of 2024. And then the last cover reveal that I have to share is Clown in a Cornfield #3, The Church Friendo by Adam Caesar. This one's coming out August 20th, and I mean to pick these up every Halloween season because they just seem like so autumn themed. Like the covers, I think are so cool. Very creepy, but very cool. But I haven't read them yet. Moving on to book news. So first up, and very exciting, is that Bloomsbury has changed their mind about their plan for the Bone Season series. Initially, they were only going to be releasing the first revised book in hardcover, but because of such an overwhelming amount of support for the series, they decided to now release the next books in the series in hardcover in the matching editions to the revised first book. So you will be able to get these. They're coming out in May in both the UK, Australia, and the US. And the paperbacks and the hardcovers will be available on the same day. None of the covers have been revealed yet, but you do have more of an opportunity to get them all in hardcover, which is exciting. And they said that books 5 through 7 in the series will also continue with these covers so that everything will match. Then there was another leak. So on Amazon, there's a listing for a special edition of Lux by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And I'm so excited because I really want like really beautiful editions of that series. I think it's just so much fun. And I'm surprised that it hasn't gotten the special edition treatment yet. It was also listed on Edelweiss, so said that it's going to have stenciled and sprayed pages, dual jackets, and a character poster inside, and it also sounds like they're going to be doing the entire series, which is awesome. Next, Bramble revealed new case art for The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. They're going to be publishing this one traditionally very soon. Then Raven Kennedy announced that Gold is no longer going to be the last book in the Plated Prisoner series. There's going to be another book called Goldfinch, and that one's going to be coming out in August of 2024. And then also Raven Kennedy news, Bloom announced that they have picked up Raven Kennedy's books. So the first 5 books in the series are all going to be published by Bloom, and Goldfinch will not be indie published. However, the cover will match the rest of the series, and it also will be the same size trim as the rest of the series, but I do believe it's going to have the Bloom logo on the spine. And the new Bloom editions of the books will be released in hardcover, and they will have illustrated end papers, and there will also be trade paperbacks with illustrated content. Then Bloom also announced that they will be publishing Elsie Silver's next series. The series is called Rosehill, and it is a small town romance series, and it's set in the same universe as Chestnut Springs. The first book is called Wild Love, and the cover should be coming soon. Then Lynn Painter announced Nothing But the Movies. This is a sequel to Better Than the Movies, and this one is going to be dual POV, and it will follow Wes and Liz at UCLA. And this one's coming out October 1st of 2024. Then Casey McQuiston announced her next adult queer romance novel called The Pairing. This one will follow 2 bisexual exes who are having a transformational 3-week tryst in Europe. They're going to be going to France, Italy, and Spain. And this one's coming out on August 6th. Then Sourcebooks picked up the Tattered and Torn series by Catherine Coles. Plus, they also picked up a standalone novel set in the same world. These will start being released in 2024 and complete being released in 2025, and the indie editions will be going out of print. Then Rachel Smythe announced that Lore Olympus is going to be returning on November 11th, which is so exciting for those of us who read it week to week. And Rachel Smythe also announced Rachel Smythe Presents. This is a partnership with Inklore Books to celebrate creators who are passionate about mythology and to help them bring their own reimaginings to life. Then Brian Keene announced The End of the World as We Know It, Tales of Stephen King's The Stand, edited by Brian Keene and Christopher Golden. This is an original short story anthology with an introduction by Stephen King, and it will include stories from Paul Tremblay, Josh Mallerman, S.A. Cosby, Caroline Kepnes, Wayne Brady, and more. Then Bloom announced that they acquired the Sinners of Saints series by L.J. Shen, and Bloom is just acquiring everything, which is so cool. These will feature new covers that are yet to be revealed, updated content, bonus material, and Vicious will include the prequel novella Defy for the first time. Current editions will go out of print in February of 2024, and that will be 2 months prior to each of the new editions being released. Then Bramble announced that they acquired C.C. Penaranda's trilogy, The Stars Are Dying, which is a dark romantasy trilogy, and it's loosely inspired by the Greek myths of Astrea. Then we got a title reveal from the author of Stone Cold Fox. So Rachel Kohler Craft's next book is called We Love the Nightlife. The official cover reveal is coming in November, but it's described as London Disco and Vampires, which sounds so fun. This one's coming in August of 2024. And lastly in this section, Caitlin Barron sold 4 new books to Bloomsbury. Those 4 books are split across 2 new series. So the first one is a YA horror duology. Book 1 is untitled, but it is steeped in necromancy and secret societies. And the second is a middle grade mystery series that's done in the vein of Nancy Drew. The first 2 books will be published in spring and fall of 2025. Then moving on to adaptation news. So starting off with another news update, so the Spiderwick Chronicles, which was adapted from Holly Black's series. It was previously supposed to air on Disney+, but they decided not to. They pulled it, and it has since been picked up by Roku, so that's where it will be streaming. The first season will be 8 episodes, and it's expected to premiere early next year. And it's also rumored that the series was deemed to be darker than what Disney Plus was looking for, so that actually sounds kind of promising. Then it was announced that Hulu and Liz Tiegler will be adapting The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This is such a great thriller. I really loved this book, so I'm very excited to see this one come to life. It will be a limited series for Hulu, and supposedly there was like a pretty big auction for this one, so it's likely that it will get adapted sooner rather than later. Then Rafe Judkins announced that the 3rd season of Wheel of Time will focus on the 4th book in the series. I have not finished season 2. I'm honestly not really loving the show, obviously, since I haven't finished it, but I might continue. Then we got a trailer and date announcement for the 6th and final season of The Crown. The trailer has a voiceover from every single actress who has played Queen Elizabeth II, which is pretty cool. And this season will have university-aged William, Kate, and Harry. The first part of the season will drop on November 16th, and the second part will drop on December 14th. Then we got first cast photos for Netflix's live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm hesitant to be excited for the show just because the original creators dropped out of it and said that it wasn't their vision for Avatar, and since they created it, that does not bode well. But I do think that these initial photos are really good. Like, they look excellent. Next up, we got a trailer for Hugh Howey's adaptation of Beacon 23, which is going to be on MGM+, and this is the one that takes place at a lighthouse in space. The series is set to premiere on November 12th. Then this is a little Broadway news that I wanted to share, but Jordan Fisher is going to be taking over for Reeve Carney as Orpheus in Hadestown, which is crazy. Reeve has played the role since the show opened on Broadway, and he did an amazing job, but I am so excited for Jordan Fisher to be taking over. It kind of actually makes me want to see the show again. It's one of my favorite Broadway shows, so I think that's gonna have to happen. And he'll be taking over on November 19th. Then it was also announced that LeVar Burton has replaced Drew Barrymore as the host of the National Book Awards. There was a bunch of drama with Drew Barrymore because she wanted to bring her show back without the writers when the Writers Guild was on strike, which obviously does not bode well, especially when you're hosting the National Book Awards. Writers are pretty important. But I think LeVar Burton is a much better host anyway. And then Star Trek Prodigy has officially found a new home. It will begin streaming on Netflix. It should be dropping later this year. And then there's also going to be a 2nd season of Prodigy that will be released in 2024. Prodigy was pulled from Paramount Plus back in June of this year, which is interesting because Paramount hosts every other Star Trek show. So it's like weird that they didn't just keep this one too. But I think there are a lot of fans that are excited that it has a new home and that they will be getting new content. Then we got another official trailer for the upcoming Doctor Who specials, which will feature David Tennant as the 14th Doctor along with John Noble. I'm beyond excited for these. And we also got release dates. The first special, The Star Beast, will be premiering on November 25th. The second special, Wild Blue Yonder, will be premiering on December 2nd. And the third special, The Giggle, will be premiering on December 9th. And each episode has its own poster, and I just think this is going to be so much fun. So that is everything that I have to share for news. Obviously, there's a lot to consume here, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. And that is all that I have. I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!